Hi everyone, Diane here, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting some gift tags, or at least I'm going to start making a set of 12, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. And I'm going to be showing you, just quickly browsing through last year's book of Christmas sketches, most of which I didn't actually use for the channel. So I thought this would be good inspiration for this year, because it's always hard to think of new ideas. And sometimes, you know, you look back and you think, oh, I had a good idea last year or 10 years ago or 30 years ago. Maybe I should follow that one up. And that's quite honestly what I've done this morning. I've been looking at what I did last year and the year before, and I'm thinking to myself, I had some good ideas. Anyway, this Christmas is going to be a pretty strange one, and I'll probably mention why as we go through this video. First thing I want to do is talk about gold paint, and I've got several options here for gold, and all of these gift tags are going to have a gold border around them because I think that makes them look more festive. And so these are two from last year. So that's what we're going to do. So first of all, I'll talk about the gold paints that I have. If you haven't already got any, then you might want to consider getting hold of some of these. You can use a gold pen too if you want, and I tend to use various different acrylic golds and the gold gel pens, for example. Don't know where it is at the moment, but there's a gold version of this one, which is a Signo Uniball silver, and it comes in a set with silver, gold and copper, I think, or bronze or something, so they're good. But anyway, if you want a selection of golds and silver, this is the Kuretake set, which is quite good, and this looks like this. These are Kuretake color golds. Then we've got the Mab set, which is available on Etsy from Mab Watercolors. That's her Etsy shop, which has a U in it. Watercolors, she spells with a U, so don't search for it the American style because you won't find it. You need to put watercolors with a U. This is her gold set, and they're really nice, actually. This one is kind of silver gold, for example. They're all a little bit more interesting than... and she's got loads of others as well, so I highly recommend you go and have a look at her Etsy shop. And you can use a code when you put in an order, Diane 10, and you get 10% off. And I believe she offers free or very reasonable shipping. You have to go and find out. I can't remember. I haven't been there for a while. But I know that a lot of people have ordered from her and been very happy. And I like to support her because she's actually in England, and you know, it's tough. But she will send worldwide for a very reasonable shipping cost, if not free. And even if you're in America, I think you'll get them fairly quickly. I don't know about Canada. I don't know if you've still got a strike over there. That's really not good. So anyway, enough about her. Milena, I think, is how you say her name. The other one that I really like is the Schminke Aqua Bronze, which it comes out like this. So if you want a really intense gold, the Schminke powder is really good. And what you do is you take a little bit of that from the pot and you mix it with some water. So you just get however much you want ready mixed, and then you put that to one side and wait until you need it. And then it's there ready for you. It's a powder inside this bottle here, like that. And yes, aqua bronze they call it. Don't know why, because it's gold. Anyway, and the other one I've got is the Etcher set, the Etcher shimmery gold colors. There's a dozen of them there. They're also very good. And as you can see, to be quite honest, there's not that much to choose between them. There's also Starry Colors, which are on Amazon, I think, from Kaleri or something like that. Anyway, these are the ones I like to use and I recommend. So I hope that's a little bit helpful anyway. So I'll put that to one side. So I have taken a piece of, this is Meaden paper, of course, it's cold press, and I've divided it into 10 rough rectangles. They're not identically sized. And so you can see that these little motifs would fit in there. I might have to adjust the size a little bit. So see, that one would fit. And then you just trim them with a pair of scissors roughly around the outside and put gold line round, and Bob's your uncle. You've got a nice rustic look. So we'll have a look at some of the things that I've done before over the last year. And when I find one that I think will make a good tag, I will stop and we'll do that. This is Holly. And here's Peace on Earth. That was a card that we did last year, or a design that we did last year, right at the end of the Christmas period, the Dove of Peace. And there's a little cottage in a wintry landscape. A bit too complicated for these cards, I think. There's some candles. Candles is a nice idea. We could do some candles. Might do that. Some colourful candles on a dark background. That's nice. I think that was a short that we did last year. I'm not sure. A wreath. Yes, that's good too. Another wreath. And another one. And an angel. Ah, yes. Now, I was going to do an angel. So maybe that could be one of them. I'm not going to do all of these today. I'm going to start with one. A mug of hot chocolate with guimauve. What do you call that in English? Marshmallows, yes, on top. That's quite a nice design. I think I got that off Pinterest, that one. Some baubles. A nice idea, just kind of, yeah, that's quite a nice idea. You can steal any of these ideas that you see. You can, obviously press pause, do a screenshot, and you can use these ideas for yourself. So that's a nice simple one, actually. Could start with that. So I think oh yes, and look, a nice star. Yes, a rustic sort of boho kind of star. I think I'm going to do this for the first one. I think I'm going to do this. So what I need to do is find some paints. And what have I got? What have I got for Christmas? Let's go with an A Gallo set. I have no affiliation with these people. Gallo, they sent me this set and I occasionally mention it. I know they've got a special offer on at the moment. I think I saw that on an email I got, I think. Not inexpensive, but they are handmade. So this time of year is perhaps the time of year when you might want to think about treating yourself or someone you love. I always have this idea in my head that how lovely it would be to be married to somebody who was also interested in watercolor painting, and then you could kind of really have a lot kind of, would be nice, wouldn't it? I couldn't imagine anything less likely to happen to me, really. Anyway, I've got my brushes here in a what they call a desk easel from Meaden, which has got 3 drawers like this. 1, 2, 3, and I've got all my brushes in there, and then it's got a lift-up flap on the top, which is great. And I just realised I had got my brushes in there the other way around, so with their heads up and their tails this end, but I've just turned them all around. Works much better. So I've just picked out a Drawell size 8 here, and what I'm going to do, I shall start with this one on the right-hand side. I'm going to put in a graduated wash in the background, just lightly, and then we'll wait for that to dry, and then we'll put in the branches using a Tombow calligraphy pen, and we'll see whether this works or not. So I think I probably ought to sit down if I get my chair in the right place. Right. Okay, so this is, I'm just going to paint sort of loosely, just see how this goes. That is blue. I don't know which blue that is. What blue is that? That is periwinkle. And then we'll go to a mauvish kind of colour. Let's go to Tyro purple. Yeah, I'm going to put some of that in. So I'm copying this. Don't know how it's going to work out. And then we'll go to a dark red. This is Alizarin Crimson. And honestly, this paper is so good because it doesn't streak or anything. It really is great. And then we need to go to a kind of yellow. So let's go down to the bottom and work upwards, and we'll blend the two together there. Okay, so just need to let that dry, or whack the hairdryer on it. Okay, so for the next stage, we're going to need a Tombow Fudenasuke calligraphy pen. This is the kind with a brush sort of nib, and when you press hard, you get a thick line, and when you lift up, you get a thin line. So it goes thick or thin. So that's ideal for doing something like this. So we'll put that there, and then we're also going to need some white, and I've got some Royal Talens white gouache here. You can also use Dr. P.H. Martin's white, intense white, and some of the whites that you get in some of the sets these days from China actually work quite well. But if you want to buy one, a specialist one, white gouache is quite good. Looks like that could do with a little bit of a stir. It tends to dry up around the edges, but a jar of this will last you for quite a long time. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we'll pop that there. Okay, so here we go then. Let's get some branches into this little one. And you start by pressing down quite hard and just kind of ease off. Let them overlap a little bit. And then you get something that's, looks a bit like a tree. I'm just looking out the window at my trees over there. I'm not going to bother with the trunk. We'll just have, branches. So we have another one coming down here. Put one up here. We have a couple of birds flying in the sky up here. Nice cold winter sky. And then the key to this one is putting the birds sitting on the branches. So we're just going to draw them in. And don't worry too much about their heads. They don't need much in the way of heads. What makes them look like birds is their beaks and their tails. Quite tricky to do something really small like that. And if it goes a bit wrong, you have to make it a bit bigger. So pretend it's a crow. Start off a bit small, go bigger. The first painting of the day is always a bit of rubbish, basically. But you find as you warm up, things improve. Start somewhere, don't you? So there we are. There's our birds in the tree. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to mix up some white gouache with a bit of water. And then we'll do some snow, I hope. Make it fairly runny. This brush is probably a bit too small. Could use a toothbrush, actually. Probably better to use a toothbrush. There we are, toothbrush, snow, and the little brush is useful to put, oh, it's raining again, jolly good, to put snow on the branches. Okay, when that's dry, if you feel you need to reinforce the branches a little bit, you can come back in with your pen and make them a little bit darker. And then you can just write whatever you want to write down here. Probably best if you wait for it to dry. So I should have waited for it to dry, shouldn't I? Never mind. You get the gist. And then we'll go around the outside with the gold. And like I said, you know, the first one is never going to be the best one. Which is why I chose to do a simple one to start with, so it starts to get kind of warmed up. So that's number one. And it didn't matter about the writing, it turned out okay in the end. Okay, so we'll do one more. Should we do a little Christmas tree? Something like that. Yeah, let's do a little Christmas tree down here, I think. And let's pick up some nice green. Doesn't matter what shade of green it is. And we'll just do this freehand. Let's put in the trunk. And then the branches. We finally got our tree decorated yesterday. It looks very vintage because it's got all these old baubles and knitted decorations and all sorts of things on it from years gone by. Not very fashionable. I'm not fashionable. I don't go in for fashion. Okay, so that's the branches. Now let's find a nice red for the pot. Let's just do it in a few strokes like that. And we'll just keep that really simple. And then we want some nice gold balls. Now I don't know whether if I keep it away from the green paint, we'll probably be okay. So I'm just going to put some nice different size baubles on. We've had a lot of weather just recently, really bad weather. We had no electricity for more than a day, which is quite unusual for us actually, because we're in a pretty good spot when it comes to electricity here. But that was, I mean, I realised just how reliant we are on electricity. We have no gas in the house. Just put a little cross on the top, a star. That's right. Okay, and then we'll go around the outside. I think I might just do the corners on this one. You don't want to spend hours and hours on these things. This sort of thing doesn't need to be, you know, doesn't need to spend hours and hours. Running out of ready mixed paint, go to the I'll switch to the map now. So there we are. We have some darker colour on some of these balls as well. That's, I'm using this one here. I want to put some red baubles on there as well, and I'm going to use an acrylic marker from Artex here, and these are quite good because you can just basically put nice, quite regularly circles just by going pop, 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 like that, and they stand out really well, nice and brightly. So that's a good way to do that, and they have all sorts of different colours. You can do it in whatever colour you like. So that's that, number 2. And maybe to just finish off, we'll go for one more. Let's have a look and see, well, why don't I do this? This was a nice one. I was quite pleased with that. So I think I'll do that because that is really nice and easy. So we go for our, do the leaves first. Go back to that number 8. And I'm going to start with, sorry, you can't see that. This sort of lime greeny kind of colour. And I'm going to put some lovely bright green leaves. Like that. And then we'll go for a darker green. Let's find, oh, let's see, this one perhaps. Oh, yeah, that will do. And then we'll just do a lovely stem and drop some green into that yellowy green, like that. And then we can do our berries with this fantastic red. We can let it run. Look at that. And then we can do a bow. Let's do that in the same thing. Bring that stem down a bit further, like that. Okay, and then we need to dry it. Let's go back to our nice variable pen. So we'll outline our berries first. Let's outline our bow. And then the leaves. Okay. Just make that a bit thicker. The fun of this kind of thing is just making it up as you go along, isn't it? And now we need our gold outline. So let's try, because we haven't used, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get anything out of there. Maybe the Kuretake one, perhaps it will. Need more water. Just go around like that. Doesn't have to go the whole way. And then you could do what I did because I made a mistake on the other one. Go over the writing. And then the black gives it a kind of shadowy, vintage kind of effect. Oh yeah. Put a little bit of gold on each of the leaves as well. So that's that one. So we have three gift tags. And yeah, next thing to do, I suppose, would be to take them off of the board, cut them out and see what we have. I'm not going to finish the rest of them today. I'll show you how we would remove this piece of paper. It's the last piece in this pad, so you just go round it with a knife. And then, as I said, I think I'm not going to cut them out with a knife. I'm going to use scissors. Here we go. So let's just cut them out. Around the edges. That's number one. I won't waste this paper. I will come back to it. You could use a knife if you wanted to. I quite like the, as I said before, I'm repeating myself, I know. Hey ho. Number two. And we will, you know, use some nice gold thread to attach them to the parcels. Has everybody got all their Christmas presents ready? I haven't. I've got something for my husband. I'm not going to say what it is because he might watch the video. It's possible. But I know he'll like it because I've given him them before. And he probably expects boxes of chocolates from me, but he's not getting any this year. Usually I buy him a big box of chocolates, and I suppose I probably will at the last minute because I always say, oh, I'm not buying anyone anything this year. But Tamsin had a really good idea about what to do for Christmas because, you know, we don't need to spend money on each other. So she suggested that what we should do is we should go around the house and find things that we don't want to keep anymore, and we should wrap them up and address them to one another, and with the intention that they should be donated to charity. So I think that's a really good idea. So I'm going to go and find something of my husband's and give it to her so that she can give it to the charity shop down the road. Don't you think that's a good idea? So there we are. That's 3 gift tags, one from last year. This one's my favourite. They always get better as you go along. I'm going to make that one darker. I think I might actually... this is the acrylic colour, and I'm going to give this one a bit more furry colour. Just going to scribble it over what I'd already done and pretend that I intended to do that right from the start, because it just looks a bit too bluish for a Christmas tree for me. There we are, that's better. That is definitely better. Right, I shall let you go while I fiddle around with my baubles here. And you know what it's like. You're never happy until you're happy. I shall say goodbye for now, and I wish you some happy painting. I'm going to go and get the punch and punch some holes in there and put some of this through there, and then I'll be able to attach them to the Christmas parcels that I haven't got yet. Okay, I'll say bye-bye for now, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.